Okay, you can get going, I think. Good afternoon to everybody, and thanks for joining today. Just ask yourself to just keep yourself muted through the call. A lot of people on right now, a lot of stuff to cover. And if there's any questions or whatever, we'll try to follow up later after the call, or you can email me or somebody else to get the information you need. We're also recording the meeting, so you can review it later if there's something you missed, or if someone wasn't able to attend, they can catch it too. Today we're gonna welcome some new foremen, and I got some processes that I'm just gonna try to spend some time to review. And I think Jason has some safety talk he wants to cover too. Jason, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Thank you, Sean. Good afternoon, everybody. No surprise here. We're going to be talking about the heat. That is something that came pretty quickly. Definitely caught a lot of people off guard. And now today it's, low 70s, high 60s. So it's all over the place. Nonetheless, the heat is coming. Summer's back, full effect. So I think it's a good time to talk about recognizing signs and symptoms of heat-related illnesses. This past week we had a couple that have already came up. So signs of heat exhaustion would be the first and foremost one we would see is fatigue, headaches, and nausea, cramps. Those are things people overlook normally when it comes to heat-related illnesses. If you're working in a very hot area for a while and you're getting a headache, you're feeling nauseous, your stomach may hurt, you're getting cramps in your legs or arms, it may not just be from working, it may not just be getting cramps, it may be due to the heat. So take those things into consideration, especially in high heat environments. And then obvious ones would be dizziness and then sweating. Then if it's an extreme case, the sweating will stop. So if you notice you're sweating all day long in a hot environment and then the sweating suddenly stops, that's time to take that into consideration and stop working and go see the medic. Because heat stroke would be the next step here. Signs of heat stroke, that's when it's past heat exhaustion. That's when things like confusion, slurred speech, unconsciousness, seizures, rapid heart rate, things like that may be coming on. And that's when it gets much more serious. That's when somebody's passing out, hitting the deck, and needs to be moved to a cooler area. Another thing that really gets overlooked too is irritability is a sign of heat related stress or a sign of heat exhaustion, which everybody's irritable on a job site, but it's one of the ones that every time I read it I'm like, everybody's that. But if it's a sudden onset of that, that's a sure sign of heat exhaustion. And if these signs and symptoms don't go noticed, it will lead to heat stroke and somebody having a serious injury. Now, preventive measures is obvious. We talk about hydration. We have waters on job sites. People that are on some of the bigger jobs, the GCs bring out 50-gallon buckets full of ice, coolers, water. Sometimes the popsicles come around too, those squenchers, the electrolyte packets that everyone loves. And some GCs even bring out ice cream trucks. Not everybody. But hydrating is key. And I know it sounds minuscule. I know it sounds almost childish to have to remind people for hydrating, but it starts before work. The day before, you should be hydrating, checking the weather, reminding guys at the end of the day, hey, tomorrow's going to be hot. Hydrate tonight. Take care of it tonight. Try to avoid alcohol the night before. Try to avoid caffeine. Try to avoid sugary drinks, which, again, talking to construction workers, that's like, what else are we supposed to do? Hydrate the night before. Come to work prepared for the environment you're going to be in. The time you get to work is not when you're supposed to start getting ready for that environment. You should be prepared for it ahead of time. Dress accordingly. And if you have, crews that are working outside all day and crews that are working inside all day, try to alternate that. Switch tasks around if you can to try to avoid having somebody in the same environment all day long if it's a hot environment. And then you can try to extend breaks a little bit too, or talk to your supers, talk to your PMs, talk to the GCs if you need better break rooms or a better area for break, somewhere with shade or cool air. Make sure you have something suited for your crew, because it's definitely something we'll see more this summer, unfortunately, and something we've already seen this past week twice. is heat-related illnesses. So if you have any other questions, please reach out to me. If you need some accommodations, if you're working in trenches all week, say you may need a pop-up tent that we have sitting in the warehouse, something like that, anything you can come up with, give us a call. More than happy to try to accommodate to beat the heat. Clearly, I don't get along with the sun or the heat at all. So I'm definitely looking for ways to help you guys beat that. And if you have a chance this week, if you haven't already done your toolbox talk this week, if you could try to do one related to heat-related illnesses, that would be fantastic. If you're using the safety meeting app, there are plenty on there. Pick one, use any one of them. I've read them all. They're all perfect content for it. If not, we still do have the ones on Bluebeam, so you can utilize those as well. That's all I have, Sean. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jason. Kind of crazy that the heat is the way it is this early in the year, but good points to bring up for the meeting. Brian Barton, you out there? Let's see if he's on the call or not, but I think he just wanted to kind of jump in a little bit and welcome the VisCom and Penney Foreman.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, sorry, Brian, you want to take it?
Yeah, I apologize for being late. I'm actually down in Stoughton with some of the new Penney Foremen that are going to be running the project at 121. So, Brian Barton, ECD Superintendent, just wanted to welcome and talk a little bit about the transition. Everyone that come over from Penney. It's been a great transition, a very busy couple of weeks here, and Monday and Tuesday. But like I was saying, there's a group of Penney Foremen that are now Sully Mac Foremen down at Pre-Fab, walking through the warehouse and getting familiar with our process. And we're thrilled to have everybody on board and looking to work close with them, and hopefully they'll stay here with us for years. So thank you, everyone.
Hey, Mr. Leahy, can I jump in for 2 minutes?
Always. Take it away.
Hey, I want to echo Brian's comments. Just want to welcome both VisCom and Penney. All you folks, looking forward to getting to know you and working together. So welcome. And then for everybody on the call, just thank you for your efforts this week. It's obviously been a rough one, so better today, but appreciate everyone hanging in there. That's it, Sean.
Thanks, John. All right, for my part, I just kind of want to go through some of the processes that we do, and maybe this is just a recap for some of our seasoned foremen, just to touch base on things. Things change a lot for us, and we don't always reach out to you on it. And this is a good way to introduce some new things to our new team members. So the first system process is dock control. Dock control is managed by Tim White. And the majority of what dock control does is associated with creating and updating project document sets on Bluebeam Studio. This is not done on all projects, but generally on larger ones and smaller projects if they don't have a document sharing platform. Document control also manages Trimble. They schedule point shooting, troubleshooting issues, and coordinating service and repair. Dock control works with Foreman directly on Smart Sheets and Bluebeam, training and issues, and with IT and BIM coordinators to assist with hardware and software issues. If you need any assistance at all from dock control, you can email them directly at dock-control@sullymac.com. Coordination is managed by Doug Durand and Lindsay Hayes. When a project is awarded, the PM will generally reach out to Doug and Lindsay to get support for coordination. And depending on the size and complexity, they might assign one or several BIM coordinators to the project. However, these BIM coordinators, they're only a part of the project's coordination team. They're not electricians. They need input from foremen and PMs to be able to create an electric model. Typically, we ask the foreman that will be responsible for the installation of that system to provide Bluebeam files showing the intent for how and where systems should be modeled. These files would all have the information for the BIM coordinators to be able to produce that model. Both the foreman and the BIM coordinators should attend coordination meetings, and it should be a team effort to protect Mac's interest in them. At the end of projects, we need to produce as-built files. And again, system foremen need to provide Bluebeam files that show only the contract changes so the BIM coordinator can make the necessary updates. For as-built, less information is actually better. Avoid sending working drawings that show where every box and every circuit is located on the whole job. The information is not necessary in the as-built drawings. If you need any support from the coordination team, start with an email to dougdurand@sullymac.com. Detailing or spooling or optimizing. This is a process that refines the coordination model into something that can be prefabricated. These detailers are 103 electricians that we have trained in Revit, and they identify the raceways and equipment that can be assembled in prefab. Then they create the details needed to build them. This can be racks of branch piping, feeder risers, or complete electric rooms, or anything else in the model that makes sense to build off-site. Prefab is managed by Doug Durand and Paul Simcoe. Jimmy Campbell is the prefab foreman, and at any given time, there can be between 15 and 35 workers in prefab facility. Typically, when a project is awarded, the prefab team will review the drawings and discuss prefab options with the PM and the foreman, and then they'll assign a project coordinator who will be the point contact for prefab items for that project. Project coordinators, these are also 103 electricians, and their focus is on the things that make sense for prefab, but are not in the BIM model. In-wall assemblies, lighting control assemblies, fire alarm assemblies, and much, much more. Project coordinators will review the contract drawings and the Navis model to define prefab details. They'll generate RFIs, takeoffs, panel schedules, home run lists, and other supporting information. They'll also conduct project prefab meetings for the whole team, the PM, the foreman, the coordinators, the detailers, and management, so they can all stay aligned. Safety is managed by Jason Kiley, who you just heard from. He's supported by several safety officers, the outside supers, and all of you. We're all part of the safety plan at Sully Mac, and we all need to be looking out for one another to make sure that not only everyone has the PPE, the tools and direction that they need, but we're also documenting this so that we can show the GCs, the clients, and if necessary, OSHA, that we're doing everything that's necessary to keep our team safe. Warehousing is managed by Tony Littlefield. Equipment and materials that are determined to be stored at our warehouse in Stoughton all goes into a receiving sheet. When items are received, the sheet notifies contacts associated with them. Often the packing slips will have job numbers and PM names, and we do our best to identify the foreman as well, but we ask the PMs to help fill out any missing information so that the right people can stay informed. Not everything comes to the warehouse. In fact, we try to limit the material to what needs to be stored there. We negotiate storage with vendors for lighting and gear and coordinate storage with riggers to keep only what's necessary stored at the warehouse. If you're ordering material or equipment or wire for your project, make every effort to have the vendors hold it for you until they can deliver it to you on site when it is needed. And try not to send it to the warehouse. Tools is the last one I'm going to cover. Tools is managed by Dave Folsom. If you need tools, ladders, or material handling equipment, it's best to email Dave a list of tools, including when you need them. But be sure to allow plenty of time to pull the tools together. It's also a good idea to give Dave a call to talk through your list. You might think that everything you need is on that list, but it's often after talking to Dave, you find out that you missed something or there's some options in there that you weren't aware of. And a simple conversation can save a lot of back and forth. We have a lot of tools, but we have a lot of projects and we have a lot of guys. So the tool that you're looking for may not always be available, and it involves a lot of calling around to try to locate that thing. And then we got to get it back. We got to make sure it works, and then coordinate delivery out to you on the job site. So try to keep that in mind too when you're coming to the end of a job and you got tools that you're not using. Send them back. It helps the whole process. Okay, that's all I have for today. I again appreciate everybody that joined on the call, Jason and Brian for speaking up. And if anybody has any questions about what we covered today, please reach out and we'll do the best to get you on track. Next meeting is September 25th, and we should have everybody on that email. So if you're not on it, just let us know. Thanks very much for your time today, guys.